Greetings and spooky salutations, Fireside fam. I'm number one rocker. Going to be joined by Tcmano today on production. We've got Josh, CEO. We're going to be bringing you some froyotech versus Black Swan on Snake Water. Probably one of my favorite maps in 6v6 5CP. Tcmano, how you doing?
I am doing fantastic. There are a bunch of trick-or-treaters and hooligans potentially outside my door tonight, causing a ruckus. So I apologize if you hear any of that. Otherwise, doing really, really good. Very excited to see this match and see how it unfolds. We are recording this a little bit a day late and a dollar short, but I do hope that y'all enjoy it regardless. Tech currently, on a pretty good run of form in the regular season. I've been looking very good. They beat Black Swan earlier, previously the first time these guys fought. And so it's going to be on Black Swan to try and come back, try and take this upset win if they want to maybe ruin Froyotech's chance at a perfect season.
Indeed. Well, I mean, I know a little bit about perfect seasons, but trying to take Froyotech off of theirs is a different beast entirely. Yeah, Black Swan 8-6, but middle of the season, crazy things can happen. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I actually haven't seen this one, and I guess we're breaking kayfabe. Yes, this is pre-recorded, but I'm all for it. Yeah, I haven't seen it, so anything can happen really, as far as I'm concerned. So I actually have a bad habit of getting like really excited over pre-recorded games and not realizing that they're pre-recorded. I was just talking with my buddy about it the other day. This one time I was watching a women's soccer game, and yeah, it was between Mexico and England, and I was going nuts about it to him, and I was like, "Oh wait, this isn't even live," and he just completely lost it.
Listen, it's live to you. And to
Yeah,
all y'all watching, we can just imagine that it is live anyways. But over on the side of Black Swan, super quick, if you've been watching this season, you probably know the majority of their roster. Exile and Darty going to be the two scouts, Quacks and Tripwire, the two soldiers. But on Demo Man tonight, Jae Hyunpei, ex-Froyotech alum, is
Ooh.
making his return to the invite scene, probably just for this match. But he is going to be playing Demo Man for the team. If you don't know, I believe Jay made his invite debut on Black Swan many, many seasons ago, back in ESCA, before he was on Ascent or Froyotech or anything like that. I
Wow.
believe he was a soldier for one of the original Black Swan rosters with Exile. So
Oh
that's kind of
yeah.
why, yeah, that's kind of why he's back here helping out his friends. And then again, Foxy gonna be on Medic, her first season in Six's invite, but has previously played a fair bit of Highlander invite.
That's worth something, especially if it's on Medic as well. A lot of carryover, I feel. Uber's
Yeah.
still important, that sort of thing. But yeah, no, Jay, I've once you said Black Swan back in ESA, I was like trying to rack my brain trying to remember. But yeah, now it rings a bell. But yeah, over on the other side, I mean, I guess they barely need an introduction, but we'll give them one anyway. We got Logan and Brand Slam on your scouts there, Laz and Patty, of course, on Soldier. Banny on his, actually, speaking of classic back in ESA, back on his regular old class at demo, and Hubbard going to round it out, of course, on Medic. We love to see him there. But yeah, looking forward to this one. Snakewater, it's pretty slowish map. It can be, but these are some high tier TF2 players, so remains to be seen. We'll see what comes of it.
Yeah, we will see. And I'm going to press you for a prediction because Braytech, as we said, they've been looking pretty good. They have had a few kind of a shaky games, a few rough patches, specifically against the wall. And also against the Chuds. The Chuds wasn't in the RGL season, but it was in the Horse Run Monthly that's kind of going
Yeah,
the
yeah.
same time as this, and the Chuds were able to get a couple rounds off of Froyotech. So maybe finding some way to exploit some of Froyotech's weakness. Do you think Black Swan are going to be able to do that tonight, or is it going to be a Froyotech roll?
Let's see. It's hard pressed because middle of the pack sort of team, right? It can happen, but looking at the stats for the season so far, it's they're not losing rounds, but they can bleed, or they're not losing games, but they can bleed rounds. But nothing really too convincing except that one on product, especially on product against the wall, 4-3. but I think it would take a pretty exceptional performance tonight. I like Darty on Scout. I've seen him up close, so I'm expecting big things out of him. Jay, of course, uh, old timer coming back, of course, going to be looking to see what he does, especially if it's just for this one match to see how he does against his old team. But yeah, Trip. I mean, all these guys, and gals. You put them in together, you can't really separate them, but because they're all so good, right? They're all invite for a reason. But yeah, definitely check out Black Swan, that whole side, just to see if they come together as a team, really, and just sort of let Froyo be Froyo. I mean, what else is there that they can do that they haven't done already this season, right?
That is very, very true. I think I'm gonna have to mirror you. I believe that froyotech are going to, I'd say, win this, but
It's going to be
I
a
like
slow affair.
yeah,
It's gonna go at least, I don't know, 25 minutes before 5. If it even reaches 5. But
yeah.
I'll put it's going to take a while, but Froyo's just going to eke it out.
I agree with that. I agree with that. So sit back, relax, and get ready for an exciting game of Snake Water, Froyotech versus Black Swan, just about to start. All right, everyone, and we are live. Froyotech versus Black Swan on Snake Water. Hopefully, it should be a very exciting game. And number one, why don't you take us into this first mid?
I would be very glad to. I'm actually going to be watching the Patty cam, not the Banny cam. Just rolling up through Saw, going to collect that arrow, and already just a fight going on before the rest of the team even gets there. Banny rolling out so quickly, but Patty taking a little bit of sticky damage. Rolling up the right, just waiting for the aggression, going to see what happens. Here comes jumping across the top left. Oh, that was tripwire. Not going to find much success. Taken down by Logan, actually getting quacks as well. So down both soldiers for red, and they're going to have to back out pretty quickly. Their one shot is taken. Jay almost getting taken out by some nice rockets. Going to jump out desperately, but getting chased by the soldiers. Actually manages to avoid the gaze of the soldier long enough. As that cat finishes off, Laz is going to finish him off before he gets out of the bats, though. And that is a 1 mid for Froyo, and they're continuing on this pressure as the cat doesn't even get halfway down in second.
Yeah, Froyotech are just go at the moment. They are taking so much ground, so aggressive with this player ad that they've got Jay being down. There's no stickies to block the point, and they're just getting right on top of it. But Uber has been used from both teams. It is going to be Exile just trying to look in the behind to take down Brand Slam. Because of that, they want to try and get into lobby, but they might be a little bit disconnected. They do find one in Patty, so now they might be able to go forward. But no, Bandy taking down Jay Hunpei. Once again, no demo for Black Swan. Exile still trying to commit to this. Bombing in, does a lot of damage on the hub, but a nice surf to stay alive. Banny might be caught out. He's so weak, does catch an arrow. It can be taken down. And Laz with such a huge bomb into Exile and Foxy. And Froyotech managing to salvage this.
Yeah, absolutely. Exile looked a little bit caught out. His team did come around in there in the end, but just the re-aggression from Froyo so much better and able to keep their man alive as well. Hubbard coming in with double Brand Slam lower. It's just Jay really to contend with, but Patty's going to jump on top and finish off that kill and secure the first round for Froyo, 1-0. Very nicely done. Very nice aggression.
Yes, back out from the re-aggression from the enemy team, and then you re-aggress better. Worked out perfectly. It's kind of re-aggression on re-aggression. Laz, one of the key players there to get that going for his squad, but Froyotech taking it 1-0 fairly quickly.
Oh yeah, definitely. Less than 3 minutes. I'm actually going to be sticking on the last cam, just putting out a bit of spam here. Going to meet Triple I, and once again going in with that early aggression. Not happening. Lands a nice rocket. The rest of Black Swan will follow, take us in great positioning. But Brand Slam is going to take out Triple I, and Laz is going to finish off Foxy with the help of Banny's pills. Darty and Quacks meanwhile going to answer back onto the soldiers here, and they do have control of the mid. Very nicely done, but they are down to medic. That could come out to bite them. Hubbard are going to be rotating with his team through lower, actually with the scouts. Oh no, actually rotating now through window down to lower with the scouts. But going to get the forward spawns for Black Swan, however, but Fred's just going to come back with heals and better Uber advantage and take that right from their hands. And yeah, so I guess really in the end, at the end of the universe, Froyo ends out with control of the midpoint.
They are going to end up control of the midpoint, and they're also going to have Uber advantage. Patty going to be taken down. Nice trap from Jay Hunpei, but that's not going to stop Froyotech as Tripwire does bomb an over towards Saw to try and force out the Uber. Is not going to have any luck doing so, and being down a player, everyone on Black Swan is just going to back up Jay. Maybe just try and see if he can get someone with his trap, but isn't going to be. froyotech immediately moving in through lower, in onto last. They're going to use the Uber Brand Slam, leading it. Tries to get onto the point, wants to clear those stickies to get some cap time. Does get a little bit, but the Uber going to be forced out from Black Swan, rotating around. Black's Brand Slam is going to be taken down. There is a player hiding. It is Laz, has been caught out, is not going to be able to get a trade. And a good attempt from froyotech, but maybe just a little bit too quick there.
Maybe, but on this re-aggression here, very long spawn timer, so this could allow Black Swan to get some positioning here. Kind of had to use that Uber because of where Foxy was in the spawn. She wasn't able to actually see the point and sort of milk that one, so had to use it out. So it's going to be even Ubers. Taking a bit of damage here, Foxy as well. Just now getting over 100 health with that regen. Going to slow down their advance back out, and this looks like it could be a textbook stalemate on Snakewater last year.
It could be, and as we very well know, these Snakewater last stalemates can be very, very difficult to break, but Laz, yeah, immediately taking a lot of space is going to be froyotech, partially because of that Fade Bomb from Laz, but Quax is in behind, trying to rotate around, does get a lot of damage onto Laz, so they should know that there is a player in behind. Now the Uber comes out from Black Swan, the counter from froyotech as well. Exile's just running around, might have left Foxy out to drive. Foxy trying to get away with that last remaining bit of Uber, is barely going to be able to stay alive onto the point. Nice collapse coming in from Quack, still in behind. Triple doing so much damage. Can anyone clean up? Hubada is not going to be able to surf the safety, is going to crater, and that was a really, really great series of plays from Black Swan.
And like I said, you got to watch out for Om. That was a great team effort to just completely collapse on that dry push and push Froyo out and successfully retake second and keep Foxy alive. So massive Uber advantage, going to be closer to like a 45-50 by the time Hubada gets up, and they're pushing on to mid now here through Saw.
Are going to be pushing out. Laz just trying to get some spam damage. Brand Slam taking a lot over on the point, is going to have to back up, get some kills. Black Swan taking a good amount of space. They do have Uber advantage, but Foxy is so weak, and Patty with a nice bomb is going to negate all of that Uber advantage. Now Black Swan, they have to try and figure out some way to get to grips with the situation. They're all kind of falling one by one. They do find one onto Patty, which is okay, but Jay Hunpei goes down. They're losing their demo. They're losing so many just one by one. It's staggering their respawns, and now it's going to be froyotech taking control of second and with a very big Uber advantage.
Yeah, Patty got in on lower on a Fox, and there's nothing that she could do. Just ended up going down, and Patty lived for so much longer. And yeah, I don't know what fights Black Swan was taking, but they just had abysmal health, and they got chipped off one by one with the pressure and the continuance fight. But Froyo in lobby now. Hubada coming up on full Uber advantage. Fox only at 30. Exile and Sniper going to try to deny them here. Looking at the shutter, they're predicting it, but let's see if they wait to try to find this gun maybe and take a more organized push.
Seems like they are opting to go through the right side, through shutter. As is pretty standard, they find a sentry gun. They're going to be able to take it down. They get a little bit of cap time onto the point. They don't lose anyone just quite yet now, but Reclap's going to come in. A soldier flying high. Quack's going to be taken down. A lot of damage out onto froyotech. They lost their two scouts, so they don't have anyone to really easily play that point. Laz, very weak, over by the shutter door, is going to be able to take down one and is still alive, doing a lot of damage onto Darty. It's only Foxy and Darty. These arrows have to be so big, and the Uber just in the nick of time is going to come out for Black Swan, but because actually they were able to get Hubada there, so it's still going to be even Ubers.
Yeah, and I think that's really what Foxy realized. It's like the pressure to hit those arrows, and if they would have synced that damage, that would have been a dead Darty, and would have been a different story entirely. But Bandy's still keeping up that pressure, putting out some bad stickies on the bridge, but he's caught out of position enough for Quack to get in, but he manages to survive. Patty's saving his demo, but not for long. Darty going to come up, follow up on the damage. Exile as well on the Brand Slam, and this is starting a bit of a scrappy fight here, but Froyo Hubada with Logan going to walk out of lower, and another recaptured second for Black Swan, staving off a second point for Froyo yet again.
Yeah, it all came down to Darty committing off of that damage, getting that pick onto Banny, and then everyone else flooding in. Really great stuff from Black Swan still. With even Ubers, they're not going to opt to go any forward because they could have maybe tried to peek with Banny down, but they're instead going to play their spots. Quacks is going to get picked up from Laz, and that is going to be a one-player advantage for froyotech, so they can maybe try and send one or maybe two to try and force out Foxy.
Oh, yeah, Trip almost got caught by some long-range span there. Banny putting out some sticks here. Laz coming in with the jump from Saw. Does take down Jay before that Uber is popped off, so that's a demo down for Black Swan. Exile trying his best to get the force, but just left un-Ubered in grass, and there now popping off is Hubada. But 3 dead already for this Black Swan side, and halfway capped on second. Already poking through with Brand Slam and Hubada. A little bit more confident with Banny there, jumping in to join him. Has already put out the pressure. Quacks has to be backed up, and yeah, Patty on top of the point. Brand Slam just capping that thing up. Banny with the stickies to help, and coming out of the spawn a bit too late is Black Swan, trying their best to hang on here. Soldiers and scouts all over the point here, finally getting the kill on a Brand Slam, but the stickies still running from Banny. Logan, actually, they're holding on here. You would have thought with all of them standing on the point, Banny would just have free reign to put up the damage, but no. Now it's just Banny and Hubada left alive, and once again, staying off the point, and the continued pressure from Exile.
Oh,
Banny
Exile?
doing his best to defend his medic, but it will not work, and Darty gonna get the kill on a Banny as well, so try as they might to get out. It was not meant to be, but Patty's trying his best to delay them, and maybe even get a pick onto Foxy, but completely unhurt is she. And now, once again, capturing up their second and a significant Uber advantage. But
Laz is
yeah.
up in the sky. If he's not spotted, which I don't think Tripwire actually did spot, this could be so huge. Oh, but unfortunately misses it just barely, and is going to be taken down. Was in the right position, but that was a very good bait from Foxy. I don't think she knew, but because she did bait as long as she did, was able to get Laz out in an unfortunate position. So good attempt from Laz, but it's still going to be Uber advantage for Black Swan, making their way in through Saw Patty, trying to go in for another bomb onto Foxy, is going to be able to get out the Uber, but Jay Hunpei finding Banny, and it's a pretty good Uber for Black Swan, all things considered. They can maybe try and barrel in, get the force off of this player to add.
Yeah, absolutely. 8 seconds to go, and here they go. Already peeking in, just not getting that cap, and Exile peeking through with the rest of his soldiers, putting out the fat damage, and there we go. Hubbard actually, I think, gonna crater instead. Exile weak on the point here, but it's just already left alive. Can he work his magic with 26 HP? I think not, and that's a wipe from Black Swan, and they failed their own last push, but they have got their own last push off for once, 10 minutes in.
They have managed to at least equalize the Uber scenario, which is a little bit better than it would have been because froyotech would have had advantage, but they lose second in the process. So we're probably going to be heading to a stalemate over on mid. Laz, however, very aggressive over in kitchen, is going to be taken down. A trade out as well. Jay Hunpei is going to be able to get onto Hubada. That's going to be a pretty good trade for Black Swan, even though they lose their demo. Taking down froyotech's medic means that they can play this slow. They're going to have Uber advantage, or if they want to play this fast, get in while there's no heals up on froyotech. All damage would be permanent.
Yeah, at least semi-permanent for the time being. Hubada is back up, working his way up, but oh, very nice stickies from Banny. Is going to slow him up a bit, gives him a bit more confidence to peek. Laz is certainly going to take it through Cheese, jumping up behind. In lower, could be met here. No, actually, before he even gets the pack, Exile hot on his heels. Foxy taking a bit of damage as the pressure comes out. It is Banny and Hubada. Oh, Jay trying his very best. Does take out Patty, but Hub, 8 HP. Tripwire gonna finish off that kill, and it's a bit of a slugfest here. Banny with 67 HP, finding himself to be the last one alive, and this is going to be all she wrote for the round. Surely, long spawn timers, Laz and Patty, certainly not going to be up in time, and there we go, tied up 1-1. We've reached parity, 12 minutes in, Black Swan and froyotech, very nicely done.
Very nicely done from Black Swan. froyotech got a little bit too aggressive there. Laz got in, got taken down almost immediately in the fight, and because he wasn't alive to provide a distraction, everyone could just focus on froyotech as they tried to get through those very, very small doorways. Now, like you said, a tie game, even all. Going to be watching Jay Hunpei as he trades spam across the point with Bandy. Actually takes a bit of damage, is going to have to wait for an arrow. Now, this time it's going to be the soldiers from froyotech being the kind of early initiators. Patty just going to be going for a fadeaway bomb as Exile gets deleted across the point. Now Laz going in, makes some space. Logan in super deep as well. And Patty, everyone, all the soldiers on froyotech doing so much work. Hubada barely staying alive. Nice surf to be able to live throughout that mid. Laz is already in on second, kind of forcing everyone from Black Swan back in, I think, for the third round in a row, number one. This is going to be a Froyo 1 mid.
Yeah, Patty and Laz, they had the real divide and conquer strategy. While you were watching one thing, I just noticed Patty backing him up out of Saw. Very nicely done. And yeah, froyotech, hot, aggressive, and Quack's barely living there. Gonna go back and get some resub. Sniper shot rings out, not finding anything. It's going to be Exile. Looking like Froy wants to take this through Shutter yet again with the Uber advantage. Deliberating a bit, I guess, in the comms. Gets spotted out by the Soldier J with his own pills. Almost catches out Logan. At least some bad damage. Surely Tripwire catching up Andy as he peeks in through the drop down. Hubada doing his best to get him back up to health here. Exile is on Pyro. Very interesting to see. He's expecting it from lower. Could shift over to Shutter if it does pop up there. And actually, yeah, both medics on Uber. not paying attention clearly. They're going to try to take both soldiers in through lower, try that old chestnut. But Patty's going to pay for it. Quacks answer him back.
A really, really great response from Black Swan, just making sure they got all those doorways locked down and not letting froyotech peek for free, because I think it was froyotech versus the Chuds on Snakewater that they played, and a really great strength of froyotech's was their ability to kind of break this stalemate, which can be so hard to do. As a Exile, I think maybe accidentally joined Froyotech as spy, which is something I have done before, so I can sympathize with that. But unfortunately for him, they will definitely know that he was thinking about spy and probably be a little bit more careful.
Interesting. Well, in the meantime, Exile is going to get a flare kill and a brand slam with the help of Darty and Tripwire on the Laz. 2 dead for Froyo, and now a bit of a stare down between Jay and Patty. It's going to see Jay on top with the pills there. That's a 3 dead for Froyo. Could they convert and capitalize? Tripwire going behind install in the meantime.
Yeah, Tripwire in behind, might meet up with the respawn and branch flame, but instead it's going to be Quacks jumping out. And here comes Trip in. It's going to do a lot of damage onto Hubbard. A nice surf from him to be able to stay alive. Darty through lower has been able to get enough damage to force out Hubbard's Uber. So Froyotech have used Foxy, still safe over on last. Black Swan are going to have advantage here, but Froyotech might just barrel in, try and force it out.
Jay.
Patty does a lot of damage onto Jay. Jay is going to go down. Nice follow-up from Laz. Laz super weak in lobby, is going to get chased down by Exile, and they still have this Uber.
Indeed, and yeah, basically a sack wave for a sack wave, and Froyo once again down 3. Banny going to be backing out of lower. Hubada actually getting the Quacks, getting the work put to him, and Hubada drops to Exile. And finally the pop-up from Foxy, and wow, a little 1-2, how do you do? Once again, another sack wave basically for Black Swan, and yeah, they got the second capped up, and it's just Patty left alive. Does find Foxy, but actually not even a lick of damage on her, so everybody but Quacks left alive. Very nicely done to get behind, and the follow-up scout play just completely out of nowhere caught Hubada off guard and by surprise, surely. And yeah, rolling through with momentum is Black Swan.
Yeah, they are coming in and they're bombing onto Bats. Branch Slam might be caught out.
Nice.
Is going to be Exile already in lobby. Takes down Benny. There's going to be no demo, no good projectile to kind of block all these doorways. And you can see immediately Black Swan just going to be able to get in for free. Patty just getting levitated in the air. Laz already taking so much damage. As Black Swan try and work their way through in onto last. They're kind of overstaying their welcome a little bit, and they are going to smartly back up in the face of those double bombing soldiers. They do have Uber advantage. No reason to drop some players then when you can just go in all together.
Absolutely. They're going to come in and pop that through low with the soldier demo. Scout taking out the gun in quick order. Now unflashing the scout on point ×2. There we go. As Uber fades, soldier jumps on top of the point. And now Foxy's just going to back out as the rest of her team goes down. And yeah, it's just her left alive, surely. It looks really good at first, but then just an excellent recollapse from Froyotech. Way too quick for me to even comprehend anything. But here we go. They're going to capture their second Hubada on full Uber. It's looking great for Froyotech.
It is looking really, really good for Froyotech, and I gotta say, this has been an amazing game. Just back and forth. We've gone from coast to coast, I think twice in this third round so far, which you love to see as Froyotech try to make it coast to coast to coast. Nice bomb onto Jay Hunpei. Does a lot of damage, and Black Swan on the back foot here. They're still at Uber disadvantage, and Froyotech already making their way in onto second.
Well, we'll see how much gas is left in the tank after all these coast-to-coast trips. Brand Slam barely being kept alive, but so is Hubada by his... Actually, no, he doesn't get hit at all by that Quacks bomb. It was just Brand Slam who was in danger the entire time. Hubada's fine. What am I worried about? He's got it. Froyo's 13-0. Well, he doesn't need my concern. He's good. But actually, Foxy managing to get her Uber up, managing to live after that failed last push, does put them in a position that is even Uber, but Exile does go down and actually an answer back onto Logan. So even Spawn Time is pretty much in play, just gonna back out of the shutter. Actually, Quacks in on Vanny, gets the kill, and Jay onto Laz, and Brand Slam trying to work his magic. Nice arrow from Foxy, and Jay with the stickies is gonna finish off the aggression from his aggressor. More counter aggression. Actually, trip by, trying his best, gets stuffed. And actually, Hubada has to force that off Tripwire with just a sliver of health. Doesn't realize it. It's going to see you go for it.
Yeah, I was just looking. Patty in the back lines is going to be cleaned up. I did have to shout out Darty because he walked all the way out from last with those Frontier Justice crits.
You gotta use
and
them.
was Yeah, and it was kind of a reason why Hubba did have to force there. So shout outs to
Oh,
that. Yeah,
yeah,
it was
nice.
a really nice play. And because of it, his team is going to have uber advantage. Foxy with the rest of the team going through lower. Seems like it's going to be a
Yep.
play through kitchen.
But the downfall of many a kitchen push is they either see it or they're playing back anyway, and they get out of dodge before you even show up past the steps. And looks to be one of those Ubers. Only Bandy going down for froyotech, and now once again it's just Foxy that's alive. But she might actually get caught here in Africa. Soldiers bombing all around her, and there we go, cutting off the doorways, and not much that can be done. Very unfortunate. And yeah, throughout all that, Bandy's still the only one to die. Got to catch up second. Froyo might need an exile sniper. The sniper shot rings out. The secret is gone. But still capturing up that second hub, but it's sitting on full Uber. And this looks like a one round, if I'm reading it correctly. It could be wrong, though.
It could be. We'll have to see if
longest
froyotech
round so
beef this
far.
push.
Yeah.
It is the longest round so far. We'll have to see if froyotech beef it because, like you said, it is all in their favor. They've got the uber advantage to work with, and they're going to use it as they come in through Shutter. Brand Slam leading the charge, going to take down that sentry gun with the help of Banny, already getting some cap time onto the point. That's going to be the soldier's call to block it, and they do, but he's just still on the point, doing gotten so much cap time. They have to stand on top of it. Everyone on Black Swan, just one person steps on it. That's going to be Banny, and that's going to be the second round of froyotech.
Yeah, very hard fought. Like I said, the longest round, hardest fought one. I thought it was going to actually go Black Swans a couple of times. Black Swans way a couple of times, I should say. But no, just holding on by the skin of their teeth, and a couple failed last push, a few last push later from both sides. Here we are, 2-1, rolling out to the fourth mid.
And hopefully, if you are Black Swan, you got to figure out some way to deal with these mids because they've been aggressive with their soldiers. It hasn't worked out. They've kind of played a little bit more passive, and Laz and Patty just had too great of an impact. So they got to find that great middle ground to try and take a mid because it can be so hard to do anything if you're not winning the mids. Darty and Patty over in kitchen in a little bit of a scuffle. It is going to be won by the Black Swan crew, but Laz is just in already. Branchland helps to clean up on the Foxy, and it's just been a complete collapse from everyone. Oh my god, that was a very good.
Barely served away from that one last second. My ass would have stayed right in the doorway, but no, man, that's exactly where that rocket was going, and he surfs it out. Very nicely done. Very quick reflexes from Hubba to stay alive with Uber, and man, they're already on last before they even spawn. Good lord.
Oh my god, this is maybe an opportunity for them to try some spawn camp shenanigans, but Black Swan gonna try and make their way out. They find one onto Laz, but Uber has been used from froyotech, and this is not ideal because they've only just now captured up second. Nice kill onto Jay Hunpei, nice pipe from Banny to be able to get that demo pick, but now they're kind of in a unfortunate situation. They don't have Uber to use. They've got a heavy in front of them. They have to either full commit, which it seems like that's what they're doing. They take down the heavy. Now they can maybe try and get some cap time onto the point. Oh my, Quack's just getting levitated into the sky. froyotech, however, are pretty weak. Exile on the chase, does a lot of damage. Bandy probably going to get caught out here, and yes, it's only going to be Hubba and Laz. The last one's left alive. Hubba trying to stay alive over into Saw. Exile on the chase, thinks better of it as Hubba does a little juke out through window for good measure, but for froyotech, that was very unfortunate that they had to use Uber before second was capped, because if they could have played cap time immediately, they probably would have won that round.
Yeah, I think they're reaching seat of their grasp in that one there and kind of failed them, but yeah, that means that Black Swan with the full Uber, Hubba does escape with 45%, so he's sitting at 75 right now. Bit of pressure from Trip Y. Quacks is going to tag him out. Still putting out that spam from lower. Banny still wants that smoke, though. Still doesn't seem to hold on as Hubba reaches Uber. He's at 91 right now. Just now capturing that middle point is Black Swan as they make their way through Saw. And Froyo backing up to meet this Uber if it comes in. Oh, there it goes.
And it does.
They still had ad. Yeah.
Oh my god, they did think they still had ad, but the counter Uber from froyotech immediately is used, just chasing over towards Saw. So much chaos. And it seems like it's going to be a little bit better for froyotech. Exile finding a 1v1 over in Yard with Logan, as it's going to be Patty stuffed over by Catwalk, but that doesn't diminish the attempts of froyotech as they come in through lower. Patty going to be taken down. Logan finds one on the Exile, but the back half being started from Darty over on second. He's going on to Hubba. He gets him. Amazing shots from Darty onto Hubba. Desperation play working out, and that is going to give Black Swan the Uber advantage.
I think that's a certified Darty play right there, if ever there was one, that I've been witness to. Like that's just That's about what I expect from him. That's good on him. And yeah, massive revenge for Foxy. Coming up on 85 right now. Jay taking a bit of smoke from the saw, taking some rockets, taking some pills. Logan going to peek over, try to give him a ball as well. Exile's going to tag in now. And yeah, they're playing it back pretty passive. Brand Slam is up on the sniper. Going to be heading up through cheese. I'm going to try to get to that camera real quick. And yeah, has eyes on it, but realizes he has to rotate as they're coming through lower right now. Jay, right in front of the spawn, and there we go, taken out from a distance. Bandy on a trip Y, and Uber is finally used by Foxy down to Soldier and Demo, though not looking great. Hubbard on 55% with that arrow. Brand Slam still on Sniper, so the long range threat is there. Foxy just has to get the hell out of dodge, and that's exactly what she does.
Oh my Brand Slam!
Gonna pay the cost, and there we go, Brand Slam making it hurt.
That was a nasty shot onto Darty. Gonna be feeling that one, but nice damage onto Logan. froyotech taking so much as they try and get in through lower. They lose two immediately. Brand Slam and Banny both going down there. So gonna be losing your Pocket Scout and your Demo. Not a great way to get onto mid. Sure, they do get it, but now they're going to be at Uber disad, and immediately Black Swan trying to come back in, but Foxy goes down.
Patty says no to that Uber advantage. I didn't even see the play, man. I was too focused on mid. But yeah, just behind the scenes in the back line, just getting these plays on the medics, man. It's really taking its toll right here. And yeah, it's turned into a slugfest on midpoint, and Darty's going to go down to Logan, and froyotech is going to keep control of that mid, but Trip Y onto Logan, answering back, has Banny all in his lonesome here, but with just 12 HP, surely can't contend in a small enclosed area with the Demo, but Brand Slam is going to get two, one on Jay, one on the Trip as he tries to escape, but nothing doing. Just under 5 minutes to go here as Fryo finalizes the cap on this second, up 2-1.
Up 2-1, and for froyotech, they're putting themselves in a pretty good opportunity to try and make it 3-1. They're immediately coming in to maybe try and force out the play from Black Swan. So much damage right now onto froyotech. They're so weak over and lower. They lose one in last. But Foxy is going to go down. Nice play from Patty. Brand Slam is going to go down, so it's only going to be 3 on froyotech. Habita super weak over and lower. Can Logan defend his medic? Not going to be able to do so. Nice play from Exile. Logan is going to be able to avenge him at the very least, but it doesn't really matter. That's still going to be froyotech once again potentially being a bit too quick, and they are going to lose their chance at last and second because of it.
Well, nobody's linked up with Foxy, though. They were all focused on the second point. This might actually be a null Uber advantage. Yeah, 8.5 seconds before healing. If Habita falls prey, nope, there we go. So it's going to be roughly even Uber. So avoiding Calamity there, you know, try as hard as Logan did to keep his medic alive. It won't be all for nothing because it's basically even, yeah. Coming through Saw now. Banny leading his team through, taking some soldier spam. Actually, the rest of Black Swan looking to put the rest of their focus there. Maybe catch out Banny here. Popped up, down very low, has to back up as Brand Slam tries to get his Demo out of there with some aggression and is successful. Just now at 60% Uber roughly for both medics here. And changing up their strategy, they're backing up a bit and might focus their spam elsewhere.
Yeah, just gonna maybe wait until they get that Uber before they try and do any more risky business, as losing Banny there could have been pretty disastrous for froyotech. Now, both teams do have Uber. It is going to be on froyotech to try and make something happen because they do have control of mid, so all eyes presumably on one of his soldiers. You'd expect Laz to go and do some fancy soldier jumping shenanigans, and that's exactly what he's going to try and do. Makes his way in behind, is going to be able to draw a few players from Black Swan to try and fight him, but it's actually going to be a peel. Brand Slam and Patty immediately bomb in after him and clean up on that damage. They find one, but Logan's going to go down. Nice bomb from Laz, does so much damage on the Foxy, and that is going to force out the Uber from Black Swan. froyotech still have, they're going to be popping in on Banny. Now going to be trying to chase all of Black Swan out. Exile doing good work to try and buy time for the rest of his players to get out. They do manage to do so. They lose another, and now I think they're just kind of feeding a little bit here, as Foxy is still should be able to get out with the rest of the combo, but froyotech being able to win second.
Yeah, as soon as you said feed, I mean, that's exactly what I was thinking, and yeah, you know, I admire the effort, but probably not the best thing. It is still even Uber, so I mean, I guess it's not all for nothing. Darty up on Sniper, but for a moment, and yeah, just peeking around all doorways, goes back in and decides to change out. But it's still building up that Uber. Foxy had about 20 disad. She's not building. Hubbard, I think, realizes this, and this could be an Uber check situation here pretty soon.
could be. Question is, do froyotech try and do it? And they
Yep.
are going to. Brand Slam coming in with Banny, going to be bombing in. They find one in Jane and Pay, so that's going to be, there's no stickies on the point. They can immediately stand on it. And they capture it up just like that, 3-1.
Wonderful. Just, yeah, textbook execution, you know. Realized that there might have been a lull in the action Foxy wasn't building. They didn't hear it. So, yeah, they just built out their own Uber, knew it was roughly even, and had about a 20 advantage by the time they came through that door, and it ended up paying off. Very nice stuff for froyotech, up 3-1.
Up 3-1, and now, for Black Swan, they've still got, a bit of time, 1st to 5, but there's only 1 minute left, so it's probably going to be a 4-something game. If you are Black Swan, you do have a continuous overtime, but Tripwire just wants to make things happen. Going in for a bomb immediately. Hubba playing super far back is going to be able to bait out that bomb. Quacks jumps in as well. Is going to be taken down. Nice pipe, however, from Jay Hunpei all the way from downtown onto Brand Slam. As Laz comes in, does a lot of damage on the Foxy. Nice serve from her to stay alive. Patty as well going to be taken down. And a really great play from Black Swan to be able to bait out those soldiers and kill them in time to keep their medic alive. Banny going to be going down. Hubba might not also be able to live, trying to escape over on bridge, but Darty has got his exit. And I think that's going to be the very first 1 mid for Black Swan, and it couldn't have come at a more needed time, number one.
The first 1 mid that they kept afterwards, yes. But I'll tell you who the real MVP was. It was actually Jay on that mid, because he body blocked the soldier that was jumping in on Foxy and prevented from chasing her further into lower. So very nicely done. The old classic TF body block, dude. I'll never not love it.
It is a, who says we can't have screens in TF2?
Seriously. It's an integral part of that TF formula, dude. You gotta love it.
It is, as they Quacks doing another integral part, taking down Patty. So now they're going to have a player advantage and Uber advantage. All the advantages going in the way of Black Swan. Can they make it a round win on the board as they take down the sentry gun, getting a good bit of capture time, a little bit more. Now froyotech have to stand on it. They find one in exile, so taking down the pocket scout. All right, they're actually finding a fair few amount of kills, but it doesn't matter. Darty just steps on it for a second and makes it a 3-2 game.
Yeah, very well done. And actually, Quacks was alive on the shack for so long with just 8 HP, just putting out artillery, lobbing those rockets over. Finally got an arrow at the end there. But yeah, a lot of cap time, and Darty finished it off, just like you said, 3-2. Potentially back in this game for Black Swan, looking good just as Banny time ticks over. And here we go out to the 6th mid, I do believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. The 6th mid, and for Black Swan, they have got to play perfectly here, because if froyotech get one more round, this is a 1 game for them. But Tripwire trying to make it not so. Hubba is going to go down. Nice follow-up from Quacks. Question is, can they keep Foxy alive? froyotech immediately going to try and aggress forward, and they are just bombing in, see if they can get any lick of damage on the Foxy, but Foxy over in Saw is safe for now. They want to try and refight this. They don't want to give froyotech the point for free, but I think froyotech's going to get it. But Black Swan, but Exile goes down. Nice trap from Banny. And now what was going to be an Uber charge in from Black Swan, they're going to have to wait just a little bit for at least Darty and a couple other respawners.
And what can I say? The old man still got traps, Demo is his wheelhouse. He's gotten a few of those, at least 3 or 4 that I've counted. So, yeah, still definitely a threat to contend with. Patty spots the Black Swan combo moving through Saw, calls it out. Foxy's still sitting on that 40 Uber advantage as Tripwire gets the kill on the Lucas. So down to Scout. Patty also going to go down to Darty. Very nicely done, caught along that left side. But Uber is forced out by Foxy in the meantime. Hubba sitting on 75, but there are 3 dead from froyotech as that cap goes down, but they will have at least 1 Logan coming out of that forward spawn.
Yeah, they will. Logan is going to be up on Scout, so he didn't try and go for Sniper and do a little cheeky pick there and maybe catching Black Swan off guard. But froyotech, they are going to have Uber, and they are going to use it. Now Logan immediately in deep, but he gets deleted by Tripwire, actually, with a good couple of quick rockets. And Black Swan could opt to try and stay in here. There are no Ubers on the field, and they are going to do so. Tripwire bombing in deep over towards Battlements is going to be drawing a few eyes. froyotech still staying in here. Laz does a lot of damage, and that's going to be the cleanup coming in from Brand Slam. They're also weak. Black Swan Foxy going down. Nice rockets from Patty, and with Jay Hunpei also being taken down, I think that's going to be the call to all in onto Hubba. Can they get the medic on froyotech? Hubba with a nice surf to stay alive. Quacks with the missed rocket, and can Darty do anything? No, that is going to be froyotech withholding the storm that was headed their way. They're going to have Uber advantage to get in on the mid.
Well, I swear I haven't seen this demo before, but like right before things started to go wrong in that last push, I thought maybe they should back up because they got the spawns coming up. You know, any further damage is just going to be bad, and they just back up. Oh my God! Never
Ooh.
mind what I'm saying. Exile on the patty says, "How do you do?" Comes out as sniper and switches back to scout. So an excellent pick to sort of slow them down. Hubba on full Uber. Box just now coming up on 50. Jay setting out a trap, but it's in the wrong spot. Coming through Saw is froyotech. Looking pretty strong here. Going to continue with the aggression. Trip Y and Darty behind gets the force off onto Hubba. Very nicely done. I think it's about the second time that's worked for them now. Darty onto Laz, Brand Slam onto Trip, so one of them dead, and Darty doing his best to get the hell out of Dodge. Actually, in kitchen, the second spotted
What?
out. Actually, as the second scout comes up, as they're doing patrols, it was like Metal Gear Solid 1 here. One turn this way, one turn the other. Finally spotted out. So down both on their flank is Black Swan. Laz coming on the spawn now in a interesting Uber choice here. Might have been better if they were closer, but they weren't. Able to get Banny, however. Jay Gumbo with 49 HP, but this back cap could spell disaster. I'm not too confident about it. Patty going against Trip Y. Trip Y on top, but with just Darty there to help him, I'm not too convinced. Logan putting out some fat damage onto Darty, 24 HP as Trip Y. Actually, Darty getting the kill onto Logan. Nice.
Oh,
Logan
can
just
they
5
do
HP
it?
this time.
Froyotech, it's just going to be Brand Slam.
Oh, no.
And he gets it. Oh my goodness.
I was flicking my eyes around too quickly to shock of who was who. Darty did his best to hold out there, but yeah, just a bit too much to ask, and that'll be 4-2 the final score there.
4-2 in the favor of Froyotech. So keeping hold of their undefeated season, but you got to give major props to Black Swan because they were looking pretty competitive
Oh,
in
absolutely.
a lot, the majority of those rounds, and you got to think if maybe they had a little bit more success on mids, it would have set them up a bit better to try and convert a few more rounds.
Oh, absolutely. Especially when you get an invite, it's not a question. You know, who wins mids more wins more. So yeah, there was one instance where Black Swan, like I said, had mid, but then lost it because the losses were just too much to bear and had to give it up basically by default. Flipping over to these Logarinos, we got uh, Fat Damage. Wait, who are these names again?
No, I know it's kind of a little bit difficult to tell, but one person who had a really good game, I believe, is Brand Slam, going 38 and
Yes.
2308 DPM. Not to be yeah, not to be outdone by Exile, who was very close. Um, on the other side of things, the two pocket scouts in the server having a pretty good pocket scouty game, and then, you got the two demos right behind them as well. So pretty high damaging game all around. But at the end of the day, Froyotech. And actually, like you said, if you look at the mid fights, whoever won the mid fight literally won the round. So quite literally, the two rounds that Black Swan won, they also won the mids for. So maybe that's kind of a silver lining for them. They were very competitive in the rounds that did go long. And as you can see, many of them did go kind of like 9, 8 minutes. So they were able to be competitive and they were able to make sure that they didn't get mid to last it too much. But when you're just putting yourself on your side of the map, it can be so difficult to really get onto their side and be able to convert off of it.
Yeah, no, the soldiers, as always from Freya, just massive pain in the ass, and I feel bad for Foxy, but she held out well, so not a bad display at all. Actually, looking at the medic stats, healed more than Hubba, so that's something. But yeah, no major advantages lost, and no drops from either medic. Actually, a lot of pressure, but no drops. So well done to both medics.
Yeah, really well done. Also, want to give speaking of the meds, shout outs to Exile getting six med picks there. That's the correct way to say it. So definitely doing a lot of work for his team as well as everything else, that he was doing, being that pocket scout and just going in, taking those Ubers and having pretty good success with it. But 4-2 in the favor of Froyotech. I guess we're gonna wrap it up here. Any shout outs you'd like to give, number one?
Uh, just a shout out as always to everybody watching Fireside. Would not be here without them, right? Need an audience for everything. Shout out to you. Always love hopping in the booth with you. And every time I'm told that it's you, I'm like, oh, it's so great. And Josh, of course, on production, CEO, always looking out. Um, but other than that, I mean, I guess everybody having a spooky Halloween. I don't know.
Yeah. No, I will mirror those shout outs. Shout outs to all the players for playing. Shouts to all you guys for watching Fireside and all the content that we do. As again, shout outs to you, number one. It's always great to cast with you. It feels like forever since I
Yeah.
last casted with you. So I'm really, actually, really, really happy we were able to do this tonight, even if it wasn't live, but it was live in our hearts.
Well, up to me,
So
yeah.
yeah, it was live to us. So yeah, always really great to cast with you, man. And also shout outs to Josh for everything that he does producing and all the behind the scenes stuff at Fireside. And aside from that, I think that's going to be it for us here tonight. This has been Froyotech versus Black Swan. Froyotech winning it 4-2 on Snakewater. And if you like that, subscribe, stay tuned for more TF2 action as Fireside is going to be providing more content for you this season and in the next. So until then, see ya.